Hello, in this video we're going to do a cost chart and do the analysis that corresponds with the questions. So here I've got worker production schedule, I've got workers, I've got the output of workers, I've got marginal product. This could be really thought of as the marginal product of labor too, right? Because it's labor units that I'm adding or workers that I'm adding. Variable cost, I've been given. Fixed cost, I have been given. It's down here. Total cost. So total cost is the, total cost is fixed cost plus variable cost. Okay, so, and then fixed cost isn't going to change. Variable cost we've already been given. Average variable cost, this is variable cost divided by quantity. Ooh. It's no good. Okay. And then average fixed cost is the fixed cost divided by quantity. Kind of hard to read. And then total cost divided by quantity here. And then marginal cost, this is the change in total cost divided by the change in quantity. Okay. Okay, so let's fill all this stuff in. Okay, so marginal product. We don't really care about zero marginal product because we're not coming from anything else, anywhere else. We also don't really care about dividing by zero because we get an undefined number. We wouldn't have a marginal cost of that. Okay, our output, so marginal product is just going to be 12. It's just the difference between here to here, so you can subtract the difference or say to yourself, what do I have to add to that to get to there? 6, 3, 2, and 1. So I get a diminishing marginal product of labor. Basically, each worker is getting less productive as I hire additional workers. Tells me that 150 is the fixed cost. So this is 150. Just copy that all the way down. Total cost is variable cost plus fixed cost. So 150 plus 0. Has some dead air there. What is it? 310. Okay. Average variable cost. So we're going to divide the variable cost by its quantity. Okay. So in another screen, I have a calculator open. This would be 2 divided by 12. So that's rounding. It's 17 cents. Then 29 cents. Then 44 cents. $1.17, $2.50, $4.85. Okay. Average fixed cost, we're going to take the fixed cost and divide it by the quantity. So the first one is $12.50, $7.14, $5.56, $4.69, $4.55. Okay, now you can take the total cost and divide it by the quantity, the output. You could do that. Or faster way, you can also add average variable cost plus average fixed cost. So that's a little bit faster. So I'll go 12.67, 7.43, 6, 17, 7.19, and $9.39. Okay, marginal cost is the change in total cost divided by the change in quantity, or divided by the marginal product, basically. So the first one would be 2. It's a change in 2. You can actually do the change in variable cost too, because variable cost is what changes total cost. So it would be 2 divided by 12, which again is 17 cents. Then 44 cents. Oops. Screwed up that with the pen. The next one is $1. Does that work out? Yeah, 6 divided by 6. Worked out sometimes. 7.67 22.5, 80. Okay. All right, now I can start answering questions. Okay, what pattern do you see? How might that explain it? Okay, so what pattern do we see? We see that these numbers keep falling. What might explain that? We've reached diminishing marginal returns from our worker. Each worker is getting in the way of another worker and making the whole operation less productive. The firm has fixed cost of 150. Okay, so we filled that in. We're not going to use a graph. It would just be a straight line. So if you were graphing this, if you were graphing this, it would just be 150 all the way there. Not going to change. Fill in average cost, average fixed cost, average total cost. What pattern do you see for all? Okay, so average variable cost just tends to be rising. Average fixed cost is falling. That makes sense because the numerator in the equation, which is the fixed cost, doesn't change. So this is going up and this is staying the same. So that's going to make a smaller number. And then average cost decreases for a while and then it increases. So this is as we start to spread out our fixed costs, and then fixed costs become less relevant and our average variable costs take over. If I were to graph that, it would look like this. So I made all of this in a spreadsheet. So here are all three of them. You can see average variable cost starts off pretty low and then eventually it passes average fixed cost. This is average total cost. Another pattern you can recognize is the distance between here and here, which is the average variable cost, is the same as the distance between here and here. And that's because if I add average variable cost plus average fixed cost, I get average total cost. Same thing. Okay. The next question asks about marginal product and marginal cost. So marginal cost is low, and then once marginal product starts to decline sharply, each additional unit gets much more expensive as the workers get less productive. Okay. And marginal cost marginal cost just steadily increases as it gets more expensive, and that's because there's a declining marginal product there. And so we've compared everything. Let's see, we have another question. Explain the relationship between both of them, marginal cost and average variable cost. So they start off the same, and then marginal cost is higher, so this pulls up the average. When marginal cost is higher than either the average total cost or average variable cost, it pulls up the average. So that's what you're seeing here. Marginal cost is higher. What is the amount of output at the efficient scale? So basically we're looking for the cheapest. What that means is the cheapest production quantity. So where would that be? That's going to be right here. So 27 units is the output for the efficient scale, and that's how to do that.